What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fanball Frequency. My name is Chris. I'm your host, and today I got a special show for you, man. It's my Friday. I have no idea what it is for you, but it is absolutely my Friday, and so I thought I'd have a little fun. We'll play a little game. Two truths and a lie. Learn a little something about me and my past, and in the meantime, we'll have a little fun and cut it out of here on the shorts. So, without further ado, let's get things moving right along. So, I've had quite the resume over the years. I have enjoyed working in various industries, and I've done a lot of amazing things that have kind of got me where I'm at. So, when I tell you that I don't mind sharing some of my experiences, I tell my kids all the time, like, if there's something you're interested in, let me know. We'll find somebody who's been in that role. But I've met a lot of people because of that. So, let's dive right in. So, I'm going to give you 3 statements, and 2 of them will be truthful, 1 of them will be a lie. And if you win, if you're right, then you know me better than most. If you guess wrong, well, I guess I'm a better salesman than I thought. So let's dive right on in. So let's see, where do we want to start? So before I was the president of DCCI, I once spent a summer actually more than a summer, I worked in the towing industry. I owned a towing company with lots of trucks. We traversed Central Alabama and beyond and had a blast doing it. Statement number 2, I actually tried to quit the radio business entirely when I left the first time, and I left to go start a food truck and barber service. I want to drive around and serve barbecue and food service and then cut hair at the same time. That's kind of my goal. And then number 3, when I first started with DCCI, actually my first job in radio, I was a sales guy and spent a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, working with the service department so that I could learn the service side of the business, assisted with installs, learn about lighting and all that other fun stuff. So which one of those do you think is it? Which 2 do you think are true and which one's not true? What do you think? I'll tell you in a minute. So wanted to swing by and have a conversation about something that I think is absolutely one of the most important things when it comes to business ownership: freedom. How many of you, show of hands, have had a job that you absolutely despised? Did you learn something? I've had a few. And I didn't like the job for various reasons, but what I learned was that job wasn't for me. But not that the job wasn't for me, but what skill sets I didn't like and what challenges just weren't for me. What were my deal breakers? And there's some things in life you just have to do. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to, certain things, I jokingly say I'm an air conditioning employee. I'll still play outside. Don't get me wrong. But, if I don't have to sweat to death, like, that's fine, whatever. But, that freedom of owning your own business doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. You get to make decisions for sure. But it's that paycheck. It's that, there's a lot of security when it comes to having a job and making that leap. And one of the biggest things that I can tell you, if you're in a situation where you've got a concept or an idea and you're thinking about making the leap, if I can offer you one piece of advice, pray about it. It's one of the biggest decisions you will ever make, but pray about it. Ask God to give you clarity. Is this what I need to do? And really just think about, is this the right move for you at the time? And look, everybody is not created to be a business owner. Trust and believe. I've met a lot of people that were really good in a particular field, but had absolutely no business running a business, period. They just don't. Their books were terrible. Paying things wasn't their forte. And, by the time they paid the late fees and this and that and everything else under the sun, it was just like, so you're working to pay your late fees now? Like, how does that work? And again, it's a lot of fun, but you ask yourself, if that's something you want to do, if you've got a business that's sustainable, how hard do you have to work to make that dollar? Do you have to, if you stop working tomorrow, what happens? Is there a residual component? What's your plan B? When you put it on the line. But man, when it works really well. There's tough days along the way, like everything, but just ask yourself that simple question: what does it take to be successful? And once you kind of figure that part of it out, once you answer that in your mind and you decide you want to go for it, man, go all in. Go all in, because it's the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. And if you win big. And if you lose, you lose big too. But you always do what you have to do to be successful. You're not going to work any harder for anyone else than you are for yourself. And that is my biggest piece of advice. So let's get back over here and take a look at some of these answers that we were just discussing. So let's start at the top, I guess. Or we'll just do them, randomly, I guess. That'd probably be better. So before I was president of DCCI, I once owned a towing company. And you think that's true? It is absolutely true. I owned emergency roadside out of Millbrook for about 3.5 years. We ran 3 tow trucks, 2 service trucks, and a partridge in a pear tree. And we were the only 24-hour auto repair company in the area. We'd pick you up on your way home, take care of it that night, drop it off the next morning, cakewalk. And we loved doing it, man. It was a blast. All right, so the other one we have is when I started, when I actually tried to quit the radio business, I was going to go into the food truck haircutting business. And that seemed like a good idea, but yeah, I never did that. I had no desire to food truck anything or cut anybody's hair. I don't even like cut my own hair, so I pay somebody good money to do it. So, the last one that's true, when I first started working in the radio business, I spent a lot of time out in the shop, and trust and believe, I did. I learned so much from the guys out in the shop. They were absolutely friggin' amazing to spend time with me the way they did, show me what they were doing. I had a much better understanding of what I was selling and what I was offering when I got out in the field. So at the end of the day, that time in the shop was very well spent. And I got the respect from those guys because I was willing to take a look at what they were doing, and they had a respect for what I was doing. So that mutual respect really helped me to propel my career when I got into this business. And it answered a lot of questions. So when I was in front of a customer, instead of saying, well, it can do that or it can do this and yada, yada, I can say, well, last time I worked with my team programming radios, fill in a blank. So that really kind of gave me some points right there with our fun people at the on the sales side of the world. So I had a blast working with the guys in the shop. I still like doing shop work. I mean, I still like doing installs and meeting the customers and kind of going through that process. But I wish I spent more time out in the field doing it. But the phone rings, and all day, every day is some stuff going on. So I got to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to make sure that DCCI keeps it rolling. So if it's your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Whenever you're hearing this, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and tell us if you want to share your best job you've ever had. Hit us up at 855-4-podcast. That's 855-4-podcast, and share your experience. Maybe we'll play here on the show. Thanks so much for stopping by. Enjoy your day.